morning. Welcome to a Sunday special Shunya Talk, where we talk about the Agamas, the ancient Indian text which has been translated from Sanskrit to Chinese by Gautama Sanghadeva during the Kusha Empire and is being translated from Chinese to English by the SIFT Translation Department under the guidance of Dr. Lim. So today I have Dr. Rajesh with me in studio, and Dr. Lim will join shortly us online.
Yeah.
So last time we did 17.1 to 17.5. Today we'll continue from the 17.6. Before that, we'll quickly do our 0 to 9 Shunya practice.
9 to 0.
9 to 0.
Yeah.
Yes. So before we start, I would like to welcome Dr. Lim. Welcome, Dr. Lim. Thank you for getting out the time so that we can study the Agamas. Okay, so we'll start with 17.6.
Yeah, we are doing the Ekotara Agama 17.6, Doctor. Yeah. Harman,
Yes.
please
Yeah,
continue.
you proceed there.
Okay, 17.6, sweet fruit. Thus I have heard. One time, the Buddha was staying at Anathpindida's ashrama in Jetavana of Shravasti. At that time, Buddha said to the bhikshus, the thoughts, inclinations, and actions of being with right views are all worthy of respect and are cherished and desired by people of the world. Why is this? It is because their right views are excellent. It is like planting seeds of sweet fruits, such as sugarcane, grapes, and other sweet and delicious fruits, in well prepared fertile soil. The fruits that grow will be sweet and delicious, cherished and desired by people. Why is this? It is because the seeds themselves are sweet. In the same way, the thoughts, inclinations, and actions of beings with right view are all cherished and desired, and the people of the world rejoice in them. Why is this? It is because their right views are excellent. Therefore, bhikshus, you should cultivate right views. In this way, bhikshus, you should train yourselves. When the bhikshus heard what the Buddha said, they followed it with joy.
Yeah, this one is a simple sutra. Yeah, simple sutra. Actually, as you say, you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
Okay, and you plant grape, you get grapes. You plant sweet fruits. You get sweet fruits. This the thing. Okay, so that they here talk about this the right view. Okay, as you say in Agama, I think they have mentioned many times about right view. No? Okay, you know that it's a panchaskanda. Okay, the body, the feeling, the thinking, the actions, and the consciousness are all this illusion. You know, you do not attach to all of this. That is the right view. Yeah.
And Doctor, here the seeding is very clear that the thoughts, inclinations, and actions, all with right views, that is worthy of respect. So at the end, what we think, what we are having as a purpose in life, and the second is how we act with the Panchashila. This is what the world will respect.
Yeah. Many people thought that thinking is nothing,
Yeah.
because no action. But according to Agamas, thinking is as important as action.
Yes.
Because your action are guided by your thinking, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So if your thinking is right, your view is right, you know, then your action will be right. If your view is wrong, your action will be wrong. That's why the Buddha say you must cultivate a right thinking, you know.
Yeah.
Right view is very important.
Yeah.
Time, yeah. Even though you don't do anything, you know, but you must cultivate, yeah.
Let's take the next.
Okay. EA
Yeah, let's proceed,
17.7 Thoughts of Desire. Thus I have heard. One time the Buddha was staying at Anathapindida's ashrama in Jetavana of Shravasti. At that time, the Venerable Ananda, in a quiet place, was reflecting alone and thought to himself, all living beings who give rise to thoughts of desire develop attachment to desire. They practice this day and night, never feeling satisfied. At that time, the Venerable Ananda, towards evening, rose from his seat, adjusted his robes, and went to where Bhagwan was. Upon arriving, he bowed at the Bhagwan's feet and sat to one side and said, earlier, while in a quiet place, I thought to myself, all living beings who give rise to thoughts of desire develop attachment to desire. They practice this day and night, never feeling satisfied. The Bhagwan replied, so it is, Ananda. As you have said, when living beings give rise to thoughts of desire, their attachments to desire increases. They practice this day and night, never feeling satisfied. Why is this? Ananda, in the past there was a Chakravartin, wheel-turning monarch named King Upashanta, who ruled with righteousness, free from deceit, and possessed the 7 treasures. What are the 7 treasures? They are the Chakra Ratna, wheel treasure, the Gaja Ratna, elephant treasure, the Ashwa Ratna, horse treasure, the Ratna Ratna, the jewel treasure, the Maharani Ratna, queen treasure, the Grihapati Ratna, householder treasure, the Senapati Ratna, general treasure. These are the 7 treasures. He also had 1,000 sons, brave and strong, capable of subduing all evils, who ruled the 4 continents without resorting to weapons. Ananda, you should know that at that time King Upashanta thought to himself, now I rule this Jambudvipa, where the people are prosperous and treasures abound. I have also heard from the elders that in the west lies the land of Godania, where the people are prosperous and treasures abound. I shall now go and rule that land. Ananda, as soon as King Upashanta had this thought, he led his 4-fold army, vanished from Jambudvipa, and arrived in the land of Godania. At that time, the people of the land saw the noble king arriving, all came forward to greet him, bowing and inquiring, welcome, great king. This land of Godania is prosperous and its people are thriving. We beseech you to rule over us and guide the people according to the Dharma. Ananda, King Upashanta then ruled over the land of Godania for hundreds of thousands of years. At that time, King Upashanta thought to himself again, I rule over Jambudvipa, where the people are prosperous and treasures abound. The 7 treasures rain down, even up to the knees. Now I also rule over Godania, where the people are prosperous and treasures abound. I have also heard from the elders that there is another land called Purvi Vaidya, where the people are prosperous and treasures abound. I shall now go and rule that land, governing it with righteousness. Ananda, as soon as King Upashanta had this thought, he led his 4-fold army, vanished from Godania, and arrived in the land of Purvi Vaidya. At that time, the people of the land saw the noble king arriving, and all came forward to greet him, bowing and inquiring in unison, welcome, great king. This land of Purvi Vaidya is prosperous, its people thriving, and treasures abound. We beseech you to rule over us and guide the people according to the Dharma. Ananda, King Upashanta then ruled over the land of Purvi Vaidya for hundreds of thousands of years. At that time, King Upashanta thought to himself again, I rule over Jambudvipa, where the people are prosperous and treasures abound. The 7 treasures rain down, even up to the knees. Now I also rule over Godania, where the people are prosperous and their treasures abound. I also rule over Purvi Vaidya, where the people are prosperous and treasures abound. I have also heard from the elders that there is another land called Uttarakuru, where the people are prosperous and treasures abound. They live freely, without constraints. Their lifespans are not cut short, and they live a full 1,000 years. When they pass away, they are reborn in the heavens, not falling into other realms. They wear robes made of karpasa, cotton, and eat natural, fragrant rice. I shall now go and rule that land, governing it with righteousness. We'll take a
Yeah,
pause
continue,
here.
continue. I think
Okay.
the story we finished, Doctor. We finished this first.
Okay.
Yeah.
At that time, Ananda, as soon as King Upashanta had this thought, he led his fourfold army, vanished from Purvi Vaidya, and arrived in Uttarakuru. From afar, he saw the land glowing with a lush green color. Seeing this, he asked his ministers, "Do you all see this land glowing with a lush green color?" They replied, "Yes, we see it." The king said, "This is the Karpasa, cotton tree, from which garments are made. You too shall wear garments made from this tree." The king told his ministers, "This is soft grass, as soft as heavenly garments, with no difference." After a short while, they proceeded further and saw the land glowing with a bright yellow color. The king said to his ministers, "Do you all see this land glowing with a bright yellow color?" They replied, "Yes, we all see it." The king said, "This is natural, fragrant rice. The people here always eat this rice. Now you too shall eat this rice." Then the noble king proceeded further and saw the land perfectly level and flat. From afar, he saw a high platform, strikingly magnificent. He again asked his ministers, "Do you all see this land perfectly level and flat?" They replied, "Yes, we all see it." The king told his ministers, "You all shall sit here." At that time, Ananda, the people of the land, saw the great king arriving, and all came forward to greet him, bowing and inquiring in unison, "Welcome, noble king. This land of Uttarakuru is
One minute. I think she needs to change the slide. Okay, so Doctor, I think the desire of the king is just not ready to stop. He's keeping on going on to from one place
Yeah,
to
yeah,
another.
yeah, yeah.
He wants
Yeah, yeah.
more.
No, we're just waiting for the slide change.
Verse 9.
Are we ready?
No, the line is very slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Internet. Okay, now let's go.
After that time, at that time, Ananda, the people of the land saw the great king arriving, and all came forward to greet him, bowing and inquiring in unison, "Welcome, noble king. This land of Uttarakuru is prosperous, its people thriving, and treasures abound. We beseech you to rule over us and guide the people according to the Dharma." Ananda, King Upashanta then ruled over the land of Uttarakuru for hundreds of thousands of years. At that time, King Upashanta thought to himself again, "I now rule over Jambudvipa, where the people are prosperous and treasures abound. The 7 treasures rain down even up to the knees. I also rule over Godania, Purvi Vaidya, and Uttarakuru, where the people are prosperous and treasures abound. I have also heard from the elders that there is a realm of Trias Trimsa, 33 heavens, where the happiness is incomparable, lifespans are extremely long, food and clothing arises naturally, and the number of celestial maidens and attendants is beyond calculation. I shall now go and rule that heavenly realm, governing it with righteousness." At that time, Ananda, as soon as King Upashanta had this thought, he led his fourfold army, vanished from Uttarakuru, and arrived in the Trias Trimsa heaven. At that time, Shakra, the lord of the Devas, saw King Upashanta arriving from afar and said, "Welcome, great king. Please take a seat here." Ananda, King Upashanta then sat together with Shakra. The two sat side by side, indistinguishable in appearance, demeanor, speech, and voice, completely identical. Ananda, King Upashanta remained there for hundreds of thousands of years. Then he thought to himself, now I rule over Jambudvipa, where the people are prosperous and treasures abound. The seven treasures rain down even up to the knees. I also rule over Gudania, Purvi Vedya, and Uttarakuru, where the people are prosperous and treasures abound. Now I have reached the Trimsa heaven. I should now overthrow Sakra and rule alone over the heavens. Ananda, as soon as King Upashanta had this thought, he fell from his seat and plummeted back to Jambudvipa along with his fourfold army. At that time, the wheel treasure was lost, its whereabout unknown. The elephant treasure and horse treasure died simultaneously. The jewel treasure vanished. The queen treasure, household treasure, and general treasure all perished. At that time, the king Upashanta fell gravely ill. His relatives and clan members all gathered around him and inquired about his condition. Great king, if after your passing someone were to ask, what were the final teachings of King Upashanta as he approached death? How shall we respond to such a question? King Upashanta replied, if after my death someone asks this question, respond as follows. King Upashanta ruled over the 4 continents, yet he was never satisfied. He ascended to the Trimsa heaven and remained there for hundreds of thousands of years. Still his greed perished. His greed persisted, and he sought to overthrow Sakra. As a result, he fell from heaven and met his end. Now, Ananda, do not doubt this. The king Upashanta of that time was none other than myself. At that time, I ruled over the 4 continents and ascended to the Trimsa heaven. Yet, I was never satisfied with the pleasures of the senses. Ananda, take this as a teaching. Understand that the path of desire leads to endless cravings. The more one indulges in desire, the more it grows. There is no satisfaction in the pursuit of sensual pleasures. If you seek true satisfaction, seek it through the wisdom of the noble ones. At that time, the Bhagwan in the midst of the assembly spoke this verse. Desire and lust are like a sudden rain, yet in sensual pleasures there is no satisfaction, little joy and much suffering. This is what the wise reject. Even if one enjoys heavenly pleasures, indulging in the 5 senses, it is not as good as cutting off desire. This is the way of the enlightened disciple. Greed and desire prolong existence for eons, but when the merit is exhausted, one falls into hell. How long does such pleasures last? Soon the pain of hell will be endured. Therefore, Ananda, use this teaching to understand desire and abandon it, never allowing thoughts of desire to arise again. You should train yourself in this way. When the bhikshus heard what the Buddha said, they followed it with joy.
Yes, doctor.
This is a very interesting sutra. Actually, when you read the sutra, you must understand sometimes the world here is not the earth, no? You look at Buddha. He used the swastika. You know the swastika.
Yeah.
Swastika actually is the galaxy. There are 4 arms, no? There are 4 arms. So our Earth, this Jambu Dvipa, is at the southern arm, the lower one. No, you look at the swastika.
Yeah.
Our galaxy, you know, our galaxy have 4 arms. We have one of the arm. The top one is this Uttara. This Uttara is the north. I think Uttara. This,
Yes.
what's the name of the? Yeah. Okay. So they are the 4 corner. Okay. So actually, this king, this Chhatravati, rule over the whole galaxy. You know. Rule over the whole galaxy. This is very huge. This thing, and I think their lifespan are very long. Their lifespan are very long. As we say that, okay, you need to control your emotion, you know. Okay, and they go to the heaven, this 33, this heaven. That is the nearest heaven to earth. our earth, on top of it, the first heaven is this the 33 heaven, okay. Then he want to challenge the what they call the Sraka, okay, and because of that he kick out from the heaven, kick out from the heaven. Okay, this are thing. That's why you have to control your emotion. Okay, as we have said many times, if you do not control your emotion, if you go to the supreme abode of God, you cannot stay long there. You want this, you want that, you do like this, the King Chakravati, you'll be kicked out. So this is very interesting, this thing. But you must understand, the word that described here is not the earth. No? This Jambu Dvipa, earth is part of the Jambu Dvipa, is a very big, what do you call, world. And the Jambu Dvipa is one of this thing. Then this Mount Sumeru. Mount Sumeru is a center part of the galaxy. When you look at the galaxy, the big part of this thing, So it's not Himalaya. No. Some people say that it's a Himalaya. No, Himalaya is too small. No. Mount is a Sumeru. It's deeper. So that when you read the sutra, you must have the kind of galaxy thinking, Because Buddha, he can see everything clearly, So the world is talking to us actually not from this earth. You don't think, you don't understand it by looking at our earth, It's more than that, yeah. It covers the whole galaxy actually.
This definitely, Doctor, summarizes that manage your greed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me, yeah. Okay. Let's take the next verse.
Yeah. EA 17.8 Janu Soni. Thus I have heard, one time the Buddha was staying at Anathapindida's ashrama in Jetavana of Shravasti. At that time, the Brahmana named Janusoni went to the Bhagwan, exchanged greetings with him and sat at one side. Then the Brahmana said to the Bhagwan, "How should one view a bad friend?" The Bhagwan replied, "One should view him as one observes the moon." The Brahmana asked, "How should one view a good friend?" The Bhagwan replied, "One should view him as one observes the moon." The Brahmana said, "What the Shramana Gautama has said is brief and gives only the essentials. It does not explain the full meaning. I only wish that Shramana Gautama would explain the meaning in detail, so that those who do not understand might comprehend." The Bhagwan said, "Brahmana, listen carefully, reflect deeply. I will now explain the meaning to you in detail." The Brahmana said, "So be it, Gautama." The Brahmana received the teaching from the Buddha. The Bhagwan said, "Just as, Brahmana, at the end of the month, the moon moves through the sky day and night, but gradually diminishes and does not increase, and at time it is not visible at all. So too, Brahmana, if one has a bad friend, gradually, day by day, he loses faith, virtue, hearing, giving, and wisdom. With the loss of faith, virtue, hearing, giving, and wisdom, when the bad friend's body breaks up, at death he will go to hell. Therefore, Brahmana, I now speak of such a bad friend as one speaks of the waning moon. Just as, Brahmana, when the moon is new, it gradually increases in light and gradually becomes full on the 15th day, so that all beings see it. So too, Brahmana, if one has a good friend, day by day he increases in faith, virtue, hearing, giving, and wisdom. With the increase in faith, virtue, hearing, giving, and wisdom, when the good friend's body breaks up, at that he will be born in a good place in heaven. Therefore, Brahmana, I now speak of such a good friend as one speak of the full moon." At the time, the Bhagwan spoke this verse. If a person has craving, hatred, and ignorance unending, his goodness gradually decreases just like a waning moon. But if a person is free from cravings, hatred, and ignorance, his goodness increases just like the full moon. Therefore, Brahmana, one should learn from the waxing moon. At that time, the Brahmana Janusoni said to the Bhagwan, "Excellent, Gautama. Just as one who was bent is now straightened, one who was in darkness now sees the light, and one who was lost now sees the path, So too, the Shramana Gautama has taught me in many ways, and now I go for refuge to the Bhagwan, the Dharma, and the Sangha. From this day forth, I take the vow of a lay follower and will not kill any living beings for the rest of my life. When the Brahmana Janusoni heard what the Buddha said, he followed it with joy.
Yes, doctor.
I think this is a very interesting sutra. Yeah. So you talk about the moon, you know. Okay, you are good for a bad friend. The problem is that you do not get a bad result immediately, you know. It's gradual. That's why you mix with a wrong community. So the decay is graduating, keep on decaying. You may not even know the decay. Okay, so when you have this good association, okay, you increase. Say that whatever good, whatever bad, it may not you may not see it immediately, you know. What do you call it? It matured over the times. Okay, it matured over the time. So this one is quite an interesting one. Okay, now come to the last sentence.
Last sentence. Can we go to the last sentence?
Yeah. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you see, this Brahmana, okay, you say to Dhamma and Sangha, okay. So actually, they mean I will be under the protection, you know, under the guide, refusing under the guidance and protection. I am under the guidance and protection of Bhagavan, the Dhamma, and the
Sangha.
and the Sangha. So I will take the vow of a lay follower. I shall not kill any living being. Actually, it's Panchashila.
Panchashila.
Because, not killing any being is the beginning, you know. Ahimsa. Not only then ahimsa, you shall not take what is not belong to you. You should respect the harmony of people. You should not making this. You should not cheat and doing a false claim. You should not take alcohol. Okay, this is the thing. But he using this. I become your lay follower, and I started to observe the Panchashila from now on. And you see that this Panchashila is very important, you know. Okay, this is when you wanted to follow the Buddha. Okay, the right way to follow him is to observe the Panchashila. So in this sutra, it has been expounded quite clearly. You know how they should refuse, not just going there chanting, keep on chanting day and night. You know, no. The Buddha doesn't need your chanting day and night to him. No, calling his name. No. You just practice what he taught to you. Okay, then. And we call him Brahmana. That means he believes in Brahma. That means this Brahmana is a God believer. Okay, so you must always remember. Okay, this the teaching of Buddha nothing to do with belief in God or not belief in God. He is neither theist or atheist. No. Whether you believe in God is up to you. No, it's nothing to do with him. Okay, this thing. So this Brahmana is definitely a God believer. Yet he also take refuge in Bhagavan, take refuge in the Dhamma, take refuge in the Sangha, that do not conflict with his belief. This is what we are doing now for our Sunya also. Anybody can join us, no? We never interfere with the belief. This is what the Buddha doing during his time, yeah.
And it is very clear, doctor, that this is all a willful choice where the person himself takes a vow from on today I will follow the Panchashila, I will observe the Panchashila. It's a willful choice, not a hardcore conversion of any kind.
Buddha never convert people. No?
Yeah.
Only people out of respect, you know.
Yes.
They respect him, then they take actually it's a kind of commitment. Commitment. Commit. No? Okay, sir. Today I commit, you know, to follow the Panchashila. Okay. So you see the Angulimala, the one who killed a lot of people, you know. After he followed this thing, then he observed this ahimsa very, very strictly, you know. So from the day on, he said, from the very first day on, I follow you. No, I shall not take any life. Mm-hmm. I shall not take any life. Okay. So taking of life, no, the consequences is very grave. No. Okay. That's why in Sunya also we are asking you should practice ahimsa. but try not to harm life. No, try as far as possible. So if any life is killed to serve you food, normally we don't take. Let's say if someone wanted to serve some food to us and they to kill some animal for us, definitely we will not take the kind of food. Okay, if the animal is killed before us for the food, no, we don't take. Yeah, this thing. So that you have to observe the Panchasila very strictly. Yeah.
Okay, let's go with the next one.
17.9 Good and Bad Friendship. Thus I have heard. One time the Buddha was staying at Anath Pindida's ashrama in Jetavana of Shravasti. At that time the Bhagwan said to the bhikshus, I will now speak about the ways of a good friend and the ways of a bad friend. Listen carefully and think deeply. The bhikshus replied, Yes, Bhagwan. At that time the bhikshus received the Buddha's teaching. The Bhagwan said, How should one understand the ways of a bad friend? At that time, the bad friend has the thought, I have ordained from a noble family, while the other bhikshus have come from a lowly families. They rely on their family name and status, defaming and slandering others. This is what is called the way of a bad friend. Furthermore, the bad friend has this thought, I am very diligent in practicing the proper teachings, while the other bhikshus do not diligently keep the precepts. With this reasoning, they slander others and become arrogant. This is what is called the way of a bad friend. Furthermore, the bad friend has this thought, I have achieved deep concentration, samadhi, while the other bhikshus do not have this concentration and their minds are disturbed and unstable. They rely on their concentration, always becoming arrogant and slandering others. This is what is called the way of a bad friend. Furthermore, the bad friend has this thought, I am the most wise, while the other bhikshus have no wisdom. They rely on their wisdom, always becoming arrogant and slandering others. This is what is called the way of a bad friend. Furthermore, the bad friend has this thought, I always receive food, bedding, blankets and medical supplies, while the other bhikshus are unable to receive such provisions. They rely on these material comforts, always becoming arrogant and slandering others. This is what is called the way of a bad friend. Such is the way of a bad friend. How should one understand the ways of a good friend? At that time, the good friend does not have the thought, I was born in a noble family, while the other Brahmins were not born in a noble family. They are the same as others in all respects. This is what is called the way of a good friend. Furthermore, the good friend does not have the thought, I now keep the precepts, while the other bhikshus do not keep the precepts. They are the same as others in all respects. They follow the precepts without becoming arrogant or slandering others. This is what is called the way of a good friend. Furthermore, the good friend does not have the thought, I have achieved deep concentration, samadhi, while the other bhikshus' mind are disturbed and unsettled. They are the same as others in all respects, and they follow their concentration without becoming arrogant or slandering others. This is what is called the way of a good friend. Furthermore, the good friend does not have the thought, I have achieved wisdom, while the other bhikshus have no wisdom. They are the same as others in all respects, as they follow their wisdom without becoming arrogant or slandering others. This is what is called the way of a good friend. Furthermore, the good friend does not have the thought, I am unable to receive clothes, food, bedding, blankets, and medical supplies, while the other bhikshus cannot receive such provisions. They are the same as others in all respects, and they rely on their material needs without becoming arrogant or slandering others. This is what is called the way of a good friend. At that time, the Bhagwan said to the bhikshus, I have now explained to you the ways of a bad friend and the ways of a good friend. Therefore, bhikshus, you should all avoid the ways of a bad friend and practice the ways of a good friend. Thus, bhikshus, you should learn in this manner. When the bhikshus heard what the Buddha said, they followed it with joy.
Yeah, I say this very, very interesting sutra also. Okay, you see, when we study this agamas, study this Nikaya, you have to be very careful. Okay, actually, certain this Sravaka scholar, they make a lot of wonderful claim, a lot of false claim. Okay, they make a lot of false claim. Then they counted the words. They say, oh, Nikaya have more words than the Agamas. That's why the Nikaya are more complete than the Agamas. No, they are idiots. They don't even read Agamas. They don't even understand Chinese. Chinese are very concise language now. You cannot count the wordings and compare the words. I have more words now. That's why my teaching is more than you. Okay, then he said that the teaching of the Nikaya is the most complete one. Then they even slander the teaching of Agama. No, Agamas and Nikaya, they are the same now. There's no difference between these two. We are translating these two, we compare these two. There's no difference between, both are from this thing, but they say that the Nikaya are better than the Agamas. Okay, they keep on promoting throughout the whole world. Okay, so these are the bad community. Okay, and in this sutra, they are egoistic, Okay, whatever they do is right, Whatever what you do is fake, Whatever they do is original from Buddha. Whatever you do are all fake, No. These are the bad community, Okay, that's why Nagarjuna call them, the burnt sprout, the sprout that already burned,
Cannot germinate.
Yeah, cannot germinate. No, it germinate but burn.
Burnt. Acha, yeah, but after
It
that.
germinate, it burn, it burn, it's rotten.
Rotten,
sprout,
not burnt.
Okay, and this what do you call? Paichong. Paichong means this corrupted species.
Uh-huh.
Corrupted species is a very, very bad word, like the hina. This very low species now. What do you call? This is what Nagarjuna call them. Okay, this thing. So you have to be very careful with this type of scholar. Okay. Now, and they only stick to Nikaya. They only stick together. They don't even agree to Agamas. What are idiots there now? Both Agamas and Nikaya are from Buddha now. How can you differentiate between? And they say that Nikaya are much more complete than Agamas. I do not think so. No, Agamas are much more structured than Nikaya now. No, we have translated both sides. You can go and compare yourself now. You can read now every Saturday and Sunday. We are doing Nikaya and Agama. You read for yourself now. Which one is better? Agamas are much more structured now. Agamas are much more structured, and the language of Chinese are much more structured. And the difference between the two is that this Pali is already a dead language now. And people still argue about the meaning. This meaning is A, this meaning is this B. They still argue about the meaning, But the Chinese, we are still using it today, So there's no argument on the meaning. When you read the Chinese Agama, nobody argues because we are still using the language today, Okay, that's why we respect Nikaya. We have nothing to do with Nikaya. Okay, because this is also from Buddha, But we do not respect those scholars. First, they do a lot of false claim. They claim that this Asoka sent the prince there, and Asoka never seen any prince there. Then they claim that Nikaya is compiled in their place now. No, Nikaya is compiled in India.
In Sri Parva. In Sri Parva.
And it's in the 5th century. And the Agamas is long before. Agama is compiled in the 1st, 2nd century, Even in this, when the first translation is by this, Ansekar. Ansekar is 150. The MAS is from Agamas. MAS is summary from Agamas is in the year 150. And the Chinese mention the date clearly, which date is translated, from where is translated, from whom is translated. But in Nikaya, you don't have anything, You doesn't know when it is translated, when it's compiled. Then they pluck something from the air. Oh, the Buddha is speaking in the Pali language. Nah, the term Pali language is not yet existent. How can a Buddha speak in Pali language? Okay, this thing. Then they say, oh, Buddha go against the Sanskrit. Buddha only speak in Sanskrit. It's a stupid scholar. They tell Sanskrit also do not exist. The Sanskrit that you are using today and the Sanskrit that they during the time of Buddha and the time of Srinjang, not the same now. You look at the Sanskrit of this Heart Sutra and today's Sanskrit is not the same.
Yeah, different, totally different.
It's not the same. There's some idiot say that, oh, the Shinjang, no, the Sanskrit is not very good, but the Sanskrit used not the same as today. Of course, Sanskrit is many languages, no. Like today, India, no, you have Hindi, you have Gujarati, you have Bengali, you have so many other languages. No. The same thing with the ancient Sanskrit. It's not one language. Sanskrit is not a language. It's many languages, no. You know why the Chinese do not keep the Sanskrit? Because you have to learn at least 5 to 6 languages, no?
Mm-hmm.
You have to learn at least 5 to 6 languages to understand the ancient Sanskrit. So the Chinese translate all to the Chinese. Only one language better. Only one. The good thing about Chinese is that, okay, is ideographic, you know. It's symbol. You can read your own language. So Japanese read in the Japanese language, Korean read in the Korean, no. So nobody will argue over the symbol. It's like a smiley, you know. It's like a smiley. That's until today is keep there. And the Chinese word is very economic, you know. You see, you compare Agamas and Nikaya. First thing, Agamas is clearly different. Which year is translated? From whom is translated? Where is the origin of the tilak? It is from Kusan, from Kashmir. Now, as I said many times, when you see the Chinese mention about Kashmir, it's not today the Jammu Kashmir. No. This Kashmir is too small. It's a huge this area. But Nikaya, nothing, no mention, nothing. No. We don't know when it is translated, who is translated, from where it's compound. Then when the thing is not recorded, then the scholar simply pluck something from the air and claim, no. Okay, then the worst thing is that they say it's passed down by memory.
Mm-hmm.
How can you pass out the whole library by memory? What type of idiots are there, no? How can you pass out by memory? No, you know how big is the Nikaya now? And they pass it down by memory. My goodness. And Buddha many times, you know. Okay, because even people challenge Buddha, no, say you have said something like this, no? Buddha say, where is the record? Absolutely. No, they mean Buddha, during the time of Buddha, it's already recorded, you know, the sutra. It's not, they said that, oh, this is Mahakasyapa, bring 500 this thing, then they ask Ananda to recite from memory. You look at this, the preface of this, the Ekotara. Now, Ananda compiled the sutra, not. It's already there, no. So he systematically put it. He grouped it into Ekotara. He grouped it into this Samyutta. He grouped it into this Niga, this middle length. Narana had classified into 4 agamas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they are like university, you know. They are like university. This thing, okay, this and they do this compilation. They do not recite from memory. Sutra is already recorded during the times of Buddha. At the time, India already have a very advanced writing system, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Already have, and writing system is long before Buddha, you know. Long before Buddha, is already have a writing system on it. It's a palm leaf, you know. And palm leaf is very common in all the villages. Palm leaf are more common than paper, you know, and easier than paper. These are the things. That's why now they use the wax. They use a wax tablet to make this thing. And there are many sutras. So Buddha asked Sariputra to compile the teaching. Compile teaching. Then after that they write in a palm leaf. Then they recite it together.
Mm-hmm.
They recite because many of the people they are illiterate. The reciter is for the illiterate. No? Why we recite? Because they didn't know how to read. No? So they recite together. Then they commit to memory. That is true. They need to commit to memory because they doesn't know how to read. Okay. No. Now you say you are in ancient India. Okay. Only about 10% people are literate. 90% are illiterate now. Okay. What should you do? So you ask them to memorize. No. You say something, then they memorize. Until today, the Thai, I go to the Thai, this thing, you know, the monk will say a sentence, we follow a sentence. See, until today. No, that is true. But the writing is there. It's not from memory. So a few things that you all must understand. The Buddha decided the good friend and the bad friend. So you must decide a good scholar and a right scholar. No? The scholar claim that, oh, they are teaching better than you. They are teaching original. Okay, the only teaching a truth, you are teaching a fake. You throw away this kind of scholar. This is bad scholar. No? Okay, they are the burn sprout. They are the burn sprout and a very low species. No? Actually, in Chinese, 叫呀拜种 mean contempt species. No? It's almost like your outcast. No, I don't want to use the word outcast, but it's equal to outcast now. They mean it's a very bad description to them. No? But these are the ones who destroy everything. No? But look at them. No? Look at their economy. Look at what they are doing. No? They're idiots. No? Okay, so you have to be very careful with them. So sometimes, last time one of our staff going there for 3 months, come back and become a pure donkey.
Yeah.
Become a pure donkey. So you have to be very careful. No? These people, after their training, no, they cease to become a human being. No? They become a donkey. Then how? These are the bad scholars. No, it's not that we want to slander people, we want to condemn them. We have seen a lot as Sunyati. Those come train, my goodness, you better don't touch them. No point of wasting your time to teach them. The chances of success, I think, is very, very low.
And here, Dr.
I don't
Buddha,
want to waste my time.
and here
Leave
Buddha,
them.
Doctor, here Buddha very nicely at the end says, Bhikshus, you should avoid the ways of the bad friend. Avoid them.
Yeah.
Avoid them.
Leave them.
Leave them, yeah.
Leave them now.
Don't try to change them.
Yeah. They only their texts are holy, Other people are fake, Okay, only the teaching are right teaching, other teachers are wrong teaching. Only the teaching are original, My goodness, original. How much statue they are building? How much chanting they are doing, The Buddha said, you cannot see me in form, you cannot see me in sound. How many form, how many sound? And they say that they are the original teaching for Buddha. Powerful original. It's a thing. I think you go directly to Nikayas, go directly to Agamas, they original. No, Nikaya is original. We respect Nikaya now. But we don't respect those scholars because they are like this bad friend, They are this thing. They are very egoistic, very, very egoistic, and very stubborn, Very egoistic, very stubborn. Okay, then the kind of aloofness, I saw one of the monks. He comes, he said, I doesn't know why today I'm here. I doesn't know why I'm going to talk to you. So I doesn't know this, I doesn't know that. Now the kind of aloofness, Can you imagine, Rajesh, today in the Agama say, hey, I doesn't know why I'm going to talk to you today. Okay, I'm sitting, No, the kind of aloofness, The kind of emptiness, They want to, no, emptiness, not like that, This is nihilism, Emptiness, then you do not attach to it, doesn't mean there's nothing's there,
Absolutely.
Emptiness doesn't mean there's void and vacuum, Something is there, but you cannot see, you cannot touch, that's why I call it empty. But it doesn't mean there is void, and nothing, Okay, so you have to be very careful with this kind of scholar, we are very careful with this kind of idiots, A fool, Buddha call them the fools, and you avoid them,
Avoid them.
With them. Then our Sunyati, do not allow our Sunyati to come near to them. What come near to them, I consider the Sunyati lost.
Absolutely, I agree on this.
It take you, my goodness, take you so long again and again, and you
cannot. You cannot. What happened? One minute.
Why suddenly some music?
Somebody just, yeah.
Something, yeah. Okay, we continue. Yeah.
Somebody just got triggered. Okay, but doctor, I think this is a very good takeaway that how by people who slander others and who claim themselves to be holier than thou and who are egoistic and arrogant, I think it's better to stay away from such people and let them be in their own world. We do not associate with them.
So try not to do a lot self-claim,
Yeah.
Okay, you claim that Asoka sent the prince to you. Okay, you claim that you are the one who compile everything. Okay, you claim that Buddha is speaking in Pali. Okay, no other language. You claim that Buddha condemned Sanskrit. Sanskrit not yet exists. How to condemn?
Yeah.
Okay, like I see the joke of Nepal. Okay, and Nepal, they passed away. You know why Nepali are so happy? Because Buddha is Nepali. And they, oh, mister, Nepal doesn't exist that time, you know, how to become a Nepali? Nepal doesn't exist now that time. Where is Nepal? Nepal only exists long after that. No. How can you say that Buddha is Nepali? No, of course, he is Nepali, he's born in Nepal. You want to call him Nepali, it's up to you. Okay, this thing, we have no thing, but you do not claim. In Sunya, we do not claim that we are the original. We no, try not to make any.
And doctor, and claiming that Buddha condemned somebody is also a big crime, because Buddha never condemned. You should never use such a words with the name of Buddha, saying that he is the one who differentiates. He's a Sambuddha.
No, he said Buddha condemned God. Buddha would not believe in God.
No.
Now, this is the Brahmana. Brahmana, definitely a God believer.
Yeah.
So that during the Buddha's, and he said that he have 4 disciples. No? Always say he have 4 group of disciples. Okay, the monk, the nun, okay, the male disciple and the female disciple. Okay, and they consist of sangha. Today, when you say sangha, they only refer to monk. No. The lay people are part of the, we are part of the sangha. We are part of the sangha.
And doctor, you very rightly translated it in Chinese. Sangha is basically a community, not one religious sect.
It's a community, yeah.
It's a community.
It's not a monk. Sangha is a community.
Community,
and a community comprises of 4 group of people. 4 group of people. And during the Buddha's time, he already had 2 group of disciples. No? The homebound and the Sramana. Okay, but the problem is that these 2 groups, they are not in good terms with each other, even during the Buddha's time. No?
That is why doctor is always referring to Shramana and Brahmana. The Brahmana being the homebound and the Shramana being the one that is homeless.
Yeah, Buddha always keep on mentioning the 2. No? These 2 are his disciples. He tells them, you shall not differentiate. But the problem, the people differentiate now. Then after that, when Buddhism spread throughout the whole world, those who can get up from India are all Sramana. Because they don't have family, they're free to travel. That's why you see the Chinese, the Tibetan, this thing, all Sramana system. They are from this Sramana. And those Brahmana are written in India. Then after that, this Brahmana take out the Sramana. They say that the Buddhism is destroyed in India. No, the Buddhism is not destroyed in India. Because the Sramana lost touch with people.
Yeah. I think we still have an internet
lost
issue.
touch with people. You don't have the monk, everything. Okay, the Indians stop the support to them. That's why they disappear. They disappear gradually. Coming to Chinese now, it disappears. It's not because of the Muslim go and burn down. Nothing to do with Muslim now. Because it's lost touch with the people. It's lost touch with the people. Then who is going to support you now? When you do not solve the problem, you do not this thing. Then you only every day chanting 5 to 6 hours. You doing this thing. Then you created a lot of statue of this thing. Who is going to support you? So remember, those removed from India, the Sramana system, not Buddhism. Buddhism still in India, very much in India. Okay, and it's a Brahmana system that remain in India are the Deva Manusya system. So that during the Buddha's time, they are the Deva Manusya, the homebound, okay, and also the Brahmana. Sometimes we also call Deva Manusya.
Actually,
because Brahma are Deva, Brahma are Deva. Yeah, Brahmana and Deva Manusya. Actually, Deva Manusya and Brahma is the same meaning. It's the same meaning.
yes.
It's the same meaning. But Deva Manusya are much more clear. Deva Manusya, you believe in Deva, you believe in a human being. You look at the Hindu today. First, they believe in God, Secondly, they believe in a human relationship.
Yeah.
How to exactly the Deva Manusya, this thing. People confuse this Brahmanism and Hinduism now. These 2 are not the same. Brahmanism are the pre-Buddha now. Pre-Buddha's time in Brahma, they believe in Brahma. Then they go for this kind of sacrifice, They even kill the cattle to sacrifice,
Yeah.
kill the cattle to sacrifice to this thing, then Buddha banned all the sacrifice. No? Buddha banned all thing. Then after that, all the money, because of they continue the belief in God, you know. They continue the in God, okay, and there's nothing wrong with it, you know. Because during the Buddha's time, this God belief is there. So do not say that Buddha is atheist, no.
Yeah.
Do not say that Buddha, no, he has nothing to do with God. No, it's up to you. You want to believe in God, you just want to believe in God. It's up to you, no. It's nothing to do with his teaching, no. Okay, and Buddha always said that your salvation has nothing to do with him also. You do not go around. You look at the Dhamma Sutra. Okay, after guiding tens of millions of people, no, none of them is saved by me. No, you cannot save anybody. Only they themselves can save themselves, no, not you, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do not go around saving people's soul. No, nothing to do with us. This thing. That's why, and you can see from the Agamas, no, people voluntarily, you know, taking refuge from Buddha, okay, from the Sangha, for the Dhamma, for the Sangha. Okay, but today it become a ceremony, you know. Today it become a conversion ceremony. Then they convert people. No, we don't do that, you know. We do not do that. No, it's not necessary.
True.
Not necessary.
So, Doctor, we open the floor for questions.
Yeah. For question, yeah.
Because, so any questions this side? Any questions online? One question online. Okay.
Yeah, please.
Does the principle of not harming others, including the belief that we should not kill, have a connection to the choice of consuming only vegetarian food?
No, nothing to do with vegetarian food. Well, first of all, vegetarian. Okay. Now you have to be. You should not worship the law. Okay. We try not to kill, but doesn't mean that you have to become vegetarian. No? Okay. You are living in this Jammu Dwipa. Jammu Dwipa is a place where bad and good are mixed together. Okay, you see, you remember Devadatta? Devadatta asked Buddha that you must strictly make vegetarian a rule. Buddha, no, I'm not going to make it a rule. It's up to you. You want to become vegetarian? Up to you, no? Okay, you should eat any food that people contribute to you. You should eat any food that people serve to you. So Buddha is not a vegetarian now. Why should we go for vegetarian? No, it's good to become vegetarian. For me also, most of the time also, I take vegetarian food and all. I love to become a vegetarian, but we don't make it into a rules.
Yeah.
No, we make it into it's a good practice now. It's a good practice to become a vegetarian, a vegan, but we don't say, oh, you sunyati, you must become a vegetarian. No such thing now.
Doctor, again from this sutra we learned, you do not become an arrogant vegetarian, do not slander the non-vegetarian.
Yeah. No, don't slander people now.
Yeah.
Okay, but of course it's good to become vegetarian.
Yeah, of course.
No, we support that now, but doesn't mean that we have to make it a rules.
Yeah,
no.
True.
It's not rules. That's why when I go everywhere, I go people. That day I go to one school. There's one a Japanese restaurant. Okay, the school, the what they call the kid of the school is I donate some money, you know. So he want to treat me. But he run a Japanese restaurant. The student is how to become vegetarian, all the fish, all of this thing now. Then they have big problem now. They say how to serve me. I told him who told you that I'm vegetarian? you serve me the fish, everything I eat now. You serve me anything I eat.
Beautiful.
We only thing is that we don't eat the food that people kill in front of us now. That we don't eat.
That's true.
Like you see, sometimes they kill the crab, no?
Yeah.
The crab are still living, they kill it, there's some fish, there's some living fish, no? We never eat. When you go to some seafood restaurant, the fish are swimming there, no? Okay, you choose the fish and they kill it, that one, we don't eat it. That kind of food we do not eat. We do not eat the food that kill because of us now. That part you have to be very careful. Otherwise,
no pleasure and in killing, that pleasure should not be that I want to kill this and eat, that's not the way we go.
But unfortunately, in this Jammu Dwipa, Buddha have said that killing for food is something that you cannot avoid.
Yeah.
Even Buddha said that, When Buddha said that, like you see in Tibet, vegetable grow, then they can only eat meat, this thing. Otherwise, they eat meat, they draw the blood, they draw the blood. Then you have to be practical, and you should not worship the rules. You should not worship Pancasila. You practice Pancasila, but don't worship it, You don't follow it so strictly until you become fundamentalist, Like those religious fundamentalists, they go and bomb their own people. They go and bomb their own religious thing because they become fundamentalists.
Yeah.
Should not become fundamentalists are the one who worship the rules, When you worship the rules, you become worshipper, then you lost your mind, You have mind, you cannot think, your eye, you cannot see, your ear, you cannot listen,
True.
So
I think that's
you not necessary to become vegetarian.
Yeah, I think that's
But
answers,
of course,
Doctor.
don't get me wrong. We support vegetarian.
Absolutely, we support no
but
killing.
we support. During our sunya this gathering,
We don't
mostly
serve.
we provide vegetarian food except eggs. No,
Yeah,
we give eggs because eggs is nowadays the eggs are non-fertilized.
yeah,
They
unfertilized.
cannot fit that, and we also milk. But in Malaysia, some vegetarian are very strict. They don't even take milk.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Chinese they respect cow. They don't take milk.
Mm-hmm.
Like my parents, they don't take beef. Like Hindu, they don't take beef. They don't even take milk.
Mm-hmm.
My parents don't take milk from cow. No. They don't take milk. This thing. They respect the cow. Okay, so that but of course they don't worship cow like what the Indian worship. This thing. Even my secretary in Philippines said she never take beef.
Yeah.
The family don't allow them to take. Many Chinese like Hindu, they don't take beef. This thing. So when I go to India, my grandma only give me two advice. First, don't take beef. Secondly, don't bring any girlfriend. There's no Chinese. That's why I don't have any Indian girlfriend because of my grandma. This thing. No, don't take beef. No, this is very.
One more question. Pull the question.
Chinese also is like, and they also don't take milk. Yeah, yeah.
Dr. Pawan wants to ask one more question. Specifically, by eating non-vegetarian food, are we contributing to the harm and? Yeah, it's the same continuation of the same question.
No. You are living in this Jammu Dipa. What world are you living in? Buddha asked. When this Devadatta asked Buddha to become pure vegetarian, Buddha asked him, what type of world you are living now? You want to become pure vegetarian, you go to the Greenland. You don't stay here. This land, this Jambu Dwipa is a mixed land, mix of good and bad. You want to do this world full of suffering. You want to do 100% pure life, not possible. Buddha told Devadatta, it's not possible. This thing. You want the food 100% vegetarian without killing, then may not be possible. May not be possible. So during Buddha's time, this vegetarianism have been strongly debated with Devadatta. Okay, and Buddha refuted him. It's good to become vegetarian. Okay. He do not forbid the monk. You people give you what type of food people give to you, you eat. How can you go to the army and say, hey, mister, you please give me only food A, I don't want to food B, Oh, I have a oh, you give me only food to eat, you eat it or no? Food this thing now. So how can you differentiate the food?
I
I think a Buddha in that part he is quite reasonable.
Yeah.
Remember, Rajesh, we are not living in a perfect world.
Absolutely.
Okay, you want to avoid killing. You want to that's perfect world. No, this world does not exist. And you see this world full of war. No, you see the Russia and Ukraine, they're still fighting each other. And they are the same people, you know. They speak the same language. You take a gene, they're the same gene, you know. They're killing each other. Millions of people are dying, you know.
That is the reason, doctor, we should cultivate wisdom, to know what is right and what is wrong at that particular point, at that particular situation.
What can we do?
Yeah.
Even the Jews and the Palestinians, they take the DNA, you know. They are the same DNA, but they're killing each other. What can we do? What can we do? Just like India and Pakistan, you know. Okay, this is a quarrel. When I go outside, I cannot differentiate Pakistani and Indian. No. When I go everywhere, I just don't know how to differentiate them. It looks the same to me.
So true.
Yeah. So now I think you when come. Maybe, but we do not agree that Sunyati must be only taking vegetarian food. Up to them.
Yeah.
Up to them. But we don't take the food that kill for us.
Yeah. I think
People wanted to kill the chicken for you, then you don't eat.
correct.
People want to kill the fish because of you, then you don't eat. No, that one, we are very strict on that, Other than that, what people want to, no, when you go there, people serve the food you have to eat, then how can you go and choose?
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
So, doctor, I think that is it for today. No more further
Yeah,
questions.
for today, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
our translation of Agamas is almost 60% done. 40%
Yeah.
is just remaining. So we are on track with the translation of Ekotara Agama.
Yeah, this thing we need to launch it.
Yes.
Then for this Ekotara Agama and Agamas, we also officially launched this taxation.
Yes.
We started the campus.
Definitely.
We started, So okay, see you again.
Okay, doctor, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So here we are at the end. Haman, another good session of the Ekotara Agamas. And I think the next one was 17.10 was longer one, and we can keep it for the next time.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah?
So we have 17.10 and
7.11. Okay, we can have that for the next time.
Yes.
Okay.
So
So thank you so much, Sharman.
thank you, Dr. Rajesh,
Yeah.
for your time. So that was a lovely session, and really, so we got to know today that you should learn from the waxing moon, not from the waning moon. I hope you will be able to ignore the bad friends, ignore the bad things in your life, and we'll see you next week. Till then, thank you.
It was spread throughout India. पूरी दुनिया में ये spread होगा. When India started to practice Sunya, जब इंडिया ने practice करना शुरू कर दिया शून्य का, but the ancient Chinese described Sunya, India, जैसे जो Chinese थे पुराने, उन्होंने इंडिया के बारे में कुछ बताया है. Simple, वो एक साधारण देश है. Elegance, लेकिन उसमें कुछ खूबसूरती है. Fantastic. और सबसे बड़ी चीज है महान. तो ये है इंडिया. साधारण, खूबसूरत और महान. It was spread throughout India. पूरी दुनिया में ये spread होगा. When India started to